everybody. Welcome to our Tripadvisor chat. We are so excited to have Allison here with us today, as well as Jen, our brand and partnership manager. But Allison is from the affiliate team on the Tripadvisor team. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name's Allison. I'm a senior affiliate specialist at Tripadvisor. I've been at Tripadvisor for about a year, but I was working on the affiliate team at our agency for about 3 years before that. So very well-versed in the affiliate program, and my specialty is focusing on content and influencer type relationships. So super excited to chat with all of you and hopefully get some questions answered about how our program works.
Awesome. Yes, and let's have Jen also introduce herself really quick, who's part of our team.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'm frozen for you guys. You guys are kind of frozen for me. Full disclosure for everybody, I am in Florida, so our weather might be a little choppy. But yeah, I manage the brand partnerships on RockPorch, and I'm really excited to be here and get to ask Allison some questions.
Yeah. And just really quick introduction on me. I'm the creator manager here, helping all the creators on our platform learn how to monetize their content in all the capacities possible. I see the chat already, tons of people checking in and saying hi. Love that. We got, let's see who we have here today. We have Christy Ashby. Oh, I just emailed you. Coming in from Tennessee, Jennifer Robinson, Arizona. Carla from NorCal, Brittany Jill from Illinois, woo woo, in Chicago as well. Tom, Toronto. We love our Canadian creators. Kate from Detroit. Jen, Tom says that you are not frozen, Jen, by the way.
Perfect.
Jamie from Tahoe, Mary from Colorado, James from California. So many of you creators out there. Awesome. So let's I love that you guys already know how to utilize the chat, but we're going to focus more so on Allison today in terms of like getting the information that we want. Like we have 5 questions that we want to ask her, and after that, if you guys have more, we will answer the questions later on. But we're going to get through those 5 first, and then Q&A later. So let's go ahead and have Jen start us off with our first question.
Sure. So Allison, again, thank you so much for hopping on this call and chatting with all of our creators. We're super stoked to kind of have you share more about how the Tripadvisor affiliate program works. So I guess the first question is, how does it work? What's the pay-per-click structure? And if you could give us a little bit of detail on, the program overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Also love to hear that someone's from Chicago. That's where I'm from originally, actually. But yeah, so as I'm sure you know, you can book several types of things on TripAdvisor. You can book a flight, you can book a hotel, you can book a rental car, pretty much anything you could need for your trip, you can find it on TripAdvisor. For our affiliate program specifically, we focus on experiences. So anything like a tour and basically anything you can buy a ticket for. So we focus on experiences and then hotels, which is kind of where that pay-per-click structure comes in. So we have these 2 lines of businesses in our affiliate program, both quite different, and you can, partner with us in both capacities, one or the other, whatever aligns best with your content. So the commission structure is quite different, like I mentioned, for both of them. So I'll try to make this make sense as much as I can. I know initially it can sound very confusing. I also have a one-sheeter overview that I'm happy to send to you guys after this if anyone would like to see it and kind of get a visual of what I'm about to say. I'm a very visual person, so I know that can be a bit helpful for people. But anyway, getting to it. So our experiences line of business in our affiliate program, it's probably what most of you are used to. It's a traditional cost per action. So let's say, you have an affiliate link in your content and someone books a tour through that link. Let's say the tour costs $100. You would get a percentage of that $100 as commission. So that's how that works. Pretty simple. And then you would get paid out once that experience has gone on. So once the travel date has passed. And then hotels is kind of where it gets a bit complicated. So we have what's called a meta search on our site. So if you go on TripAdvisor and you search for hotels in Miami, you'll see several different options, and you'll actually see different booking options on Expedia, booking.com, hotels.com, all those guys. So essentially how it works is if a user is on Tripadvisor and clicks out onto one of those hotel deals to booking.com, for example, booking.com pays Tripadvisor basically a commission for that click. And we, Tripadvisor, give part of that commission back to you guys. So that's kind of where the cost per click comes in there. How is that overview? I don't know if that was too detailed, not detailed enough, but yeah, that's kind of the overview of how we work.
Okay, so for people to find these links, right? So if you go to tripadvisor.com and they click on hotels, that's obviously where all the hotels are. And would the experiences be under things to do, that tab?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And then in terms of like oh, sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something?
Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead.
So in terms of the main difference between the hotel, what's the main difference between the hotel and experience affiliate links? Are there different cookie durations, you said, or commission structures, or is it all just pay per click?
So the commission structure is the main difference. They both have the same kind of cookie duration. It's about 14 days. And yeah, the main difference is really just the hotels being more of a cost per click and experiences being traditional cost per action. So in order to get commission for an experience, the experience has to be booked and the person has to go on the experience. For hotels too, no booking is necessary. So all that needs to happen is that the user clicks out to one of our third-party booking partners, and that's it. You're not relying on a booking to get commission. So a lot of content-specific partners actually prefer that line of business other than experiences because it's a more constant stream of revenue rather than waiting for, like I said, the user to book, go on the experience, what have you.
Amazing. Yeah. And if anyone has questions for Allison, do feel free. I know that we have questions, but please do put it in the chat so that we can answer them as you have them.
Yeah. So Allison, you mentioned that you have been on their affiliate team for the last year, specifically with content creation, and even before that, working with their agency. So do you have any strategies that would work well for sharing Tripadvisor links? Like how can our creators optimize their content to increase clicks and viewership?
Totally, yeah. So it's really nice because pretty much whatever your travel niche is, you can book something like that on Tripadvisor. So whether you are into national park road trips or whether you're into 5-star resorts in LA or something, there's really an option for everyone. So it's really easy to customize, I guess, to fit into what your content already is, which is really great. So if you already have a lot of travel content on your site, specifically about places to stay and things to do, where to go, it's really easy to just slot our affiliate links right into recommendations that you already have. And I think that's the best way to get started with us, because I know creating content obviously is very labor intensive. So we really just encourage people to get started with us by just slotting us into recommendations they already have.
Okay, we have actually a great question from Tom. He says, I'm new with RockPorch, already have Tripadvisor links with travel payouts. Any difference?
No, so it should be the same. Travel payouts is kind of what RockPorch is. It's the same kind of network, I guess. But same thing, we would run that, or we would run this program the same way we would run theirs. So no difference.
Okay, we have another question from Noelle.
I was actually going to say before you ask Noelle's question, the only difference is that at least here you'd be able to keep everything all in one place. Like with RockPorch, you'll be able to have your travel link analytics as well as any analytics for sales that you might make for other brands. Just a quick call out, but go on, Elaine.
No, thank you. Thank you for interrupting me and saying that. That's perfect. Thank you. And yeah, so Noelle, it says, if we have a link, if we have a link to our website for a hotel such as Cliff Rose and someone clicks the link, wait, this is a incomplete question. Here we go. If someone clicks on a link that redirects them to a specific hotel on TripAdvisor, it pays a cost per click. For instance, if someone is redirected from my website to the link below, we are paid a CPC.
So almost. So in order for you to receive part of that commission, the user needs to go to TripAdvisor from your link and then click out to one of those hotel deals from, hotels.com, booking.com, Expedia. So it's not just a click to TripAdvisor that makes you eligible for commission. It's that click out to that view deal button with the different prices on TripAdvisor. And again, I have a visual of this I can send after this if this is helpful to show exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah, that would be great. If you send that over to me, we can make sure we get it to all of our creators.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, so are there some like common mistakes that people use when using TripAdvisor links?
So I would say not necessarily a mistake, but what I find is that some creators, like I mentioned, a lot of creators who are using our hotel links find that is a more like they prefer that. But when getting started out with us, I think sometimes people are afraid to use the hotel links because I think there's just a lack of understanding. So when you look at the different commission amounts per transaction, if you want to call it that, for experiences versus hotels, the specific commission amounts for hotels are much smaller than what you'll see for for experiences. And I think that scares people away. They think, well, if I'm not going to make that much in commission, I'm not going to host hotel links. But I think the lack of understanding there is, like I mentioned before, you're not relying on a booking to receive commission for hotels. So while, yes, the individual commission may seem small, it's more constant. So most creators who are using both find that they end up making more money using our hotel links. Hopefully I explained that enough. But a lot of people will just use experiences, maybe not see a lot of traction right away, like they might see with hotels, since it is more of a cost per click.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a great question from Nancy. If I already have over 100 existing reviews on TripAdvisor, how can I go back and make use of those?
So if you have reviewed other properties, so we don't have a way to put affiliate links in TripAdvisor reviews necessarily, but my suggestion would be if you can incorporate your reviews and past recommendations into the content on your site or on your Instagram or however you are promoting, that would be the best way.
Yeah, plus Nancy, you can always mention that you are like an expert reviewer on TripAdvisor and you have a lot of experience with visiting places, and that can just give you more social proof as you continue to share those links, and people are going to be more inclined to check out the hotels that you're sharing.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I think we have one more question for you, Allison, and that's, how does TripAdvisor handle cancellations or changes to bookings, and how does that affect any kind of commission rate for either experiences or hotels? I guess it doesn't quite count for hotels since it's just a pay per click, but with experiences.
Yep. So exactly what you said. So for hotels, since you're clicking out to a different site, essentially, any cancellations or everything else having to do with the booking is handled off platform. But so any hotel cancellations would not interfere with the commission that creators would get for that click. So no matter if it was canceled, no matter if it was even booked, you're still receiving commission there. For experiences, we do unfortunately have, if it's, so essentially we only pay out commission once the travel date has passed and the person has gone on the experience. So that means if they have canceled the experience and they haven't gone on it, that means that commission wouldn't be awarded. So that's how that would affect it.
Cool. Thank you for answering that.
Well, of course.
Let's see. Nancy said I can build a clickable mention straight to my TripAdvisor account. Okay, yeah, nice. Love that you're so engaged, Nancy. So, if there's any other questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. But I want to know about your Chicago experience, as you mentioned, Allison. You used to live in Chicago, or?
I did, yeah. So I'm from the northwest suburbs, pretty much almost in Wisconsin. And then I went to college in Chicago, and I lived in Wrigleyville for 3 years. And now I'm in Seattle. So yeah, I lived there most of my life. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you like Wrigley? Are you a baseball fan? Is that why you live there?
I was a bit when I was there. I lived across the street from the stadium. I should have taken more advantage of living there. Honestly, I lived there during COVID, and it's a very social neighborhood. So I feel like I didn't get, the full Wrigley experience, but I absolutely loved living there. And this is my first year in Seattle. I just moved here this summer. I was living in Hawaii for 3 years before this. So I went from having very cold winters to having no winters. And now I'm very excited to have seasons again. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a ton of our creators live in Seattle as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, if anyone has any recommendations, I just moved here kind of on a whim and followed my friend who was moving. So if anyone has any recommendations of what to do here, let me know.
Yeah. So I had a question that's a little bit, that wasn't on our list, but in regards to, so you guys obviously do affiliate stuff. Do you guys also do sponsored trips and stuff for creators?
So not at this time. I would love to be able to do that. That would be so much fun. We do have another way to work with creators too, in addition to affiliate. It's brand new. It's called our creator community. We literally just launched it last week, where essentially we work with creators to repurpose their existing content to create trips and collections on our site, which are kind of more itinerary-based content. So that could be another avenue. Like I said, in addition to affiliate, it's certainly not one or the other that you have to choose from. But yeah, we have a few different ways to partner with creators, but unfortunately sponsored trips isn't one, but I wish it was.
Okay, yeah. No, I was just curious. I know, yeah. Christy Street is curious too. So let's see. Do we have any? I mean, Allison is here, directly from the headquarters. So creators get asking her questions because she's only here for a short time.
And if there are any other questions, I'm obviously always available. So if any questions come through later, feel free to shoot me an email as well. I'm happy to address them there too.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure that everyone listening understands, like if there's any lingering questions, please do ask them in terms of how the link and commission structures work.
Looks like Noel has a question.
All right.
And then I have one as well.
Okay, let's have you ask yours first while we wait for Noel to type his.
Cool, yeah. So my question is, how many Tripadvisor links can you make? I'm assuming unlimited. And what is your recommendation for that? Like, how would you have people share as many links as possible without oversaturating their audience?
Yeah, so you're right. It's unlimited. We work through CJ Affiliate when we have what's called a deep link generator, which hopefully makes it easier to do that, where you can essentially link out to any hotel or property. And I think in terms of oversaturation, I think that's a very interesting point, and I'm sure a lot of creators think about that a lot in terms of authenticity and all of that with their audience. I think as long, at least from my perspective, I'm sure it varies per creator, but from my perspective, I think as long as your content itself is authentic in terms of what you're recommending and the amount, as long as it's relevant to your audience and to the content that you already have, I don't think there is such thing as too many links necessarily. I think it's one thing if you have an article and you're just listing random links versus, you're making thoughtful recommendations about a hotel because it's great for female solo travelers and you have a lot of female solo travelers in your audience versus just having a bunch of random affiliate links. So yeah, I think that comes down to more making sure the content itself is authentic.
Have you seen content specifically that has performed really, really well? And what did that kind of content look like?
Yeah, so we tend to do well in terms of, and again, it varies. So sometimes, like I said, we will work sometimes with specific creators who have a very specific niche for their site. So I keep going back to the female solo traveler because that is what I am. So we have some with them. And again, the most authentic content always does well. But in terms of bigger content sites, I guess, not focused on a creator's site, for instance, we do really well in roundups or listicles. So, and some creators have this content as well. So if they're, it can be something like my 10 favorite hotels in LA, or, top 10 things to do on your road trip across the country, something like that. But yeah, I know I keep going back to this, but as long as the content really fits the creator's audience, that's always what does well for us, which I think is probably pretty typical. But
no, yeah, totally makes sense. You want to keep your content as authentic as possible, and that's how it resonates with people. But I love the idea of like listicles. So if you guys have any blogs, or if you guys just wanted to do like, oh, I've been traveling a lot in the last 6 months, these are the favorite places I've stayed or my favorite experiences, and sharing those, like that's a good way to get some of those links out.
Yeah, and I think in terms of platforms specifically, we certainly work with creators on their socials, and you can definitely put affiliate links in there, and we welcome that as well. But I find typically, and I'm sure it varies per creator depending what their kind of how their audience likes to research and shop. But typically the more traditional travel blogs do better there, just because I think most people are more willing to book travel on their computer versus scrolling on Instagram. But again, varies depending on your audience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's jump over to Noel's question. On the RockPorch dashboard, if we click on merchant partners, there is an option to get a link for Tripadvisor Commerce. If we put that link in our site and someone clicks on it, this does not pay a CPC, correct? And instead only pays commission if someone books something in the site. Okay, so go ahead.
No worries. I was reading the question in the chat too. So the Tripadvisor Commerce campaign, that's just what our program is called in CJ in our affiliate network, or which is our affiliate network. So once you join with us through there, then that's where you will be able to get our links for both experiences and hotels. So you are correct that if you just put that link in your content, that would not pay a CPC, because that is just the link to join our affiliate program. But by joining, you would be able to grab our affiliate links. And if someone were to click on a hotel through there, you would get a CPC. But if they were booking an experience, you would get more of a cost per action, so a percentage of the total sale amount. And then for the cookie duration, it's 14 days.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry, Elaine. I just want to clarify that being on RockPorch means you're already a part of Tripadvisor's campaign. So you don't have to go apply separately through CJ. You can do all of that through RockPorch, and you can create links for either hotels or experiences, and it'll attribute correctly.
Perfect.
Yes. So this is through RockPorch. So yes, so you would go to your merchant partners, and then, or it was called brand partners, and then under that there will be Tripadvisor, right? So you click on Tripadvisor, it will go to Tripadvisor. In Tripadvisor, under hotels, like you would select a specific hotel that you want to recommend. Then you would copy that specific link, bring it back over to RockPorch, turn it into a commissionable link, and then in your saved links, that's the link that you would share and get commission. That's in essence called deep linking, where you're like, instead of sharing a general Tripadvisor link, that you're sharing it to a specific hotel that you specifically recommend. And that's how you do it. Is that more confusing to everyone, or is that less confusing?
Yeah.
Well, I guess the chat can't speak.
It sounded clear to me, and I'm not on the RockPorch platform, but I also am familiar with deep linking, so maybe I'm biased there. But and I did want to clarify as well. Jen, you touched on it a bit, but let's say you just have one affiliate link for Tripadvisor. It's just a basic link. Whether or not someone goes through that link and clicks or books an experience or clicks out to a hotel, whatever they do on the site, you will be compensated correctly. So it works out for us. You don't, if it's awesome if you have more than one link and if you do have, specific recommendations, but you don't necessarily have to have that. So if people just go and shop around on Tripadvisor, click out to hotels and book experiences, it all shakes out on the back end, and you will, receive your cost per action if an experience is booked, and you will also receive a cost per click if that's what the user does as well.
That is a really good call out, because Kate asked earlier if somebody shared a link to just like a general TripAdvisor page that was like things to do in Chicago, would that attribute to them? But based on what you're saying, it sounds like if they did click into your affiliate link where you shared the things to do in Chicago link and they clicked through some hotels and then they booked an experience, they would earn commission for that.
Yep, exactly. So if they had a things to do link and someone clicked through that and clicked out to a hotel instead, you would get your CPC. And same thing if you were posting a link to a hotel and someone clicked on that link and booked an experience instead, you would receive your experience commission. So I think that's a cool feature too.
Yeah. So Woodstock is asking, do we get notified when folks click through and book? I think you do. So you'll get you'll see it on your dashboard every time they click in terms of your commission, as well as when it was clicked on. So yes, the answer is yes. And to Tom said, oh, Elaine, please repeat it slower. So let me just go through it one more time, because this is the heart of what we want to get out of this webinar, right? So of how to create commissionable TripAdvisor links, right? So you go to tripadvisor.com, you click on hotels, you go to the specific hotel that you want to recommend, so that you have that URL, right? Then you copy that specific URL, bring it back over to RockPorch, you click on create a commissionable link, and then you paste that, and then you share under saved links. That is your specific link that you share. So I know it's like kind of several steps, but I can also, if you email me, I'm going to drop my email here. I can also send you a screenshot recording video of exactly how to do that as well.
Super easy.
Yeah. I know honestly, it sounds more complicated than it is actually doing it.
You just copy and paste whatever TripAdvisor link, whether it's a hotel, an experience, a list of things to do in Chicago, put it into the little box that generates your commissionable link, and then you're good to go. You can start sharing that.
Yeah, but yeah, any questions, feel free to email me. And yeah. So any other final questions for Allison that we have? All right. Well, it's been incredible. Thank you so much, Allison, for your time. We really appreciate you. Oh, wait, Nancy. Hold on, but you do have, yes. Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure there weren't any final questions.
No worries.
Of course, now all the questions pop up really after I'm trying to end, really. Okay. So, does that work for all hotels on TripAdvisor?
Yes.
Okay.
Nancy asked, do you do that for each hotel or experience? So, okay, just to specify, if you want people to go to a specific hotel, you're going to want to create the link for that hotel. If you want to recommend a specific experience, you're going to want to create a link for that specific experience. But like Allison said earlier, if somebody goes through one of your links, whether it's the experience or the hotel, and just shops around TripAdvisor and clicks into different hotels or clicks into different experiences to book it, then that would all attribute. But if you're going to make a specific recommendation, it's probably easier to share the link directly to the hotel or the experience, just to make it easy for the people that are already clicking into your links to shop. Make it easier for them to spend money.
Perfect explanation.
And easier for you to get commission too. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Allison, for your time. Is there anything else final that you want to share with our creators?
I don't think so. I think we covered kind of everything I wanted to go over, but thank you guys so much for hosting, and thank you everyone for joining. It's really great to get kind of FaceTime with you guys. And again, if there is further, confusion or questions, you can email me anytime, and I'm happy to address that.
Okay, let me drop your email in the chat. Is it out?
Ooh.
No, that you're good.
Okay.
I see two final questions.
I see those too. That's why I'm excited.
What's that?
So I don't believe RV parks count unless they are kind of described that way on TripAdvisor. But anything under the hotel tab on TripAdvisor would count. So if I'm actually not quite sure. I've never run into that question before. If they show up under the hotel tab on TripAdvisor, yes. If not, then no. But that's a very good question, and I can look into that because I'm interested now. Okay. If they're listed like hotels, then they should be fine.
Okay. Does that work the same if you have to share links in your stories for cafe and restaurant recommendations?
Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't commission on restaurants or cafes, but if you were to link to a to a cafe or a restaurant using a TripAdvisor affiliate link, and someone were to click through that and click out to a hotel or book an experience, you would still receive commission, but it would only have to be for those two lines of businesses.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. No, any final questions? Drop it now or forever hold your peace. Okay, amazing. All right, well, thank you so much once again for your time, and enjoy Seattle. I'm so excited.
Thanks. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you all so much.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.